Hello. Good evening. My name is Kwabena. Earlier on, I had a discussion with Dan Ochi, and we were talking about define your worth. And I don't know, it was a discussion or it's a debate or whatever it was. I think it was maybe we shared something that we think we know, and hopefully it may be beneficial to somebody. We are not trying to talk to everybody. We are just trying to talk to somebody, and somebody to another body, maybe. And let's see what happens. The thing is that if there is anything that we need to correct on our continent, in our country, is the quality of knowledge about a lot of things that we need to correct and improve. Because people can only do what they know. We can only do what we know. We can only do what we know. You can only require us to be as honest as to the level of knowledge that we have, as to the revelation. You can only require of us to be as excellent as to the knowledge that we have. The level of our precision is a proof of the knowledge that we have, of the understanding of how we understand life. Our understanding with respect to achievement, our understanding with respect to developing any idea, our understanding of ourselves, our understanding of the environment, our understanding of history and how it has treated us, our understanding of everything. And so tonight I want to share with you the fear of failure. The fear of failure. Fear is one of the major things that prevents a lot of people from achieving anything with their lives. And it's not really about the failure, but it's about the fear. And fear is an evidence of darkness. It's an evidence of lack of knowledge. The more you know about something, the less fear. So never let failure prevent you from pursuing your goals or anything that you set up. The failure is part of the process. And so if you worry so much about the failure, then you will not start anything at all with your life. Never be afraid of it. Be afraid of not doing something with your life. Be afraid of not starting something with your life. It's not a failure. Because usually the failure is part of the process. Especially if you are just starting to build something. So the failure is not the problem. The fact that did not go well with you, the fact that the business failed, the fact that the idea did not work is not really the problem. The problem is how you are exaggerating the fact that it did not work. That is the problem. Because usually you are eaten and hit by the people who have not started anything. And your fear is coming from the people who have not started anything, who have not done anything themselves. And you are so much concerned with their opinion. And sometimes the opinion does not matter at all. Because they themselves have no track record of doing anything, whether being successful at it or even failing at it. And yet, you see that a lot of people are crippled by the mindset or the perception of a lot of the people they look up to who have not started anything, who never started anything at all. So because the thing is that the people who have started to do something, they understand how it is. And so they don't really worry so much about the fact that it didn't turn out well or it didn't turn out well. The people who are doing something are the people who tend to encourage you. Those who are not doing anything at all, they are the ones who would ridicule you. And usually what you call the fear of failure is coming from those people who didn't start anything at all. And usually they are those people who don't even believe in you, who don't even think that you amount to anything, who don't even look up to you for anything. They are only waiting for you to have some hitch, and then they blow it up, they explode it. And so why should you be concerned about somebody who is not, or about people who are not interested in you succeeding? That it should not be the game at all. So fear of failure for me is really a myth. It should not be something that gets your attention. What should get your attention is you starting something and you being obsessed with it, committing to it, and making sure that it works out. So if it does not So if it does not work at all, don't worry about it, because it's part of you learning to make anything work. For instance, you see the fuel that you put in the car. If you look at it, the exhaust that is coming out of it, it's not really, it didn't work. Part of it is the money that you paid for, is the exhaust. Fuel efficiency is very low. Even though you pay for 100 Ghana, you're really getting about 20 Ghana worth of fuel to get the car going. The rest is dissipated through a lot of other means, and part of it is the exhaust. But without the exhaust, you will not have the car to run. So part of any system at all, you don't directly get what you put in. It's not 100% of what you put in that comes out as no. The input and the output is not the same. There is no engineering. It's just an ideal situation. There's no engineering system that is input and output directly without of energy or any waste at all. So it doesn't happen. So that's natural life as well. Anything that you start is not going to come out 100%. It's never done anywhere. You could not put. You don't put that much in and expect the same output without any loss of energy or any loss of anything. Life is like that. When you start anything, there will be losses, there will be difficulties, there will be things that you will call failure. And they are part of the process. You only see it as failure when you don't understand the whole thing. So the fear is the challenge, not the failing. The society can make a lot of people to think wrongly in terms of what it takes to succeed. And that's why very few people try anything. Because they have 100% audacity in trying to do anything with their lives. And so they don't, for you to get to perfect any process, if the process was first of all perfect, so no process is perfect from the beginning. No process is perfect. You go through a lot of things to improve it. And so the same with life. And to do anything with your life, there is what actually, if you were to be part of anything at all, you say that it's part of the things that happen for the process to improve, so that you can get better product out of it. And so if you set out to do, your obsession should not be that you don't want to fail. That's not your obsession. Because if you're not failing, does not mean you're winning. Your obsession should be you want to win. And so then it doesn't matter the failures, because the failures, so far as you win, the failures did not matter. But if you don't want to fail, it does not mean that you will win, because you will lose the match. But you want to win the match. It does not matter how many goals they score you. So far as the network is not good. So far as you can score more than them, you will win eventually. So it's not really not at all. It's you want to win, and that is the focus. So in life, you don't focus so much on not wanting to lose. You focus on wanting to win, and that is what separates those who become victorious from those who are just stuck with their mistakes. So it's the fear. It's not really the failing. It's the fear, and usually the fear is coming from not even the fact that the pain that it caused you, but the fact that people think that you failed. That's your concern. And for most people, it's what people think about the fact that they did not succeed with what they set out to do. But what do you want to worry about people who don't even worry about you? Because anybody who anybody who is so much interested in you succeeding is not so much focused on your failures. It's not so much focused on your mistakes. They are focused on you winning. And usually those people have done it themselves, and they know what they had to go through to win. And so when you are in your phase of going through anything, they understand that if you don't quit, you will eventually succeed. So the people who focus on and making noise about your failure is because they have not done it. That is the thing. They have not done it so much, so they ridicule you. They are not the people who have your best interests at heart. So why should you worry about their thoughts? Their thoughts mean nothing. Their thoughts mean nothing at all. So what means something is the fact that you want to win, and it's you and the kind of psyche that you built to win, the kind of psyche that you built to win. So it's not so much the fact that you don't want to fail. It's the fact that you want to win, and whatever you have to go through to win is what you focus on. It's not you not failing. because the failing is part of the process. So if they chop your money, if your partner run away with the money, if your partner stole the money, if you gave money to somebody and they run away, if you employ that person and they turn out to take the business, if they started the business with you and now they're fighting you and you are disturbed and all that, it's all part of the failure. It's part of the system. It's a stage. It's not the end. If you don't live, if you keep on improving, you will get to the next stage. So the project did not bring profit, they brought losses. It's part of the process. It's a failing stage, but it's not the failing, and it's not the failing event. It's a failing stage, and so you continue to the next stage. You make the wrong mistake, or you made a mistake, and maybe you brought the money to the wrong guy, and you ran away with it. That's it. It's part of the problem. You did not know. If you knew it, you would not make that mistake. And so don't be afraid so much of that, and don't wait for the perfect condition to start anything, because that will never come. And usually, if you are so much afraid of life, if you are so much afraid of failing, look at your philosophies of life. Look at how you look at life. Usually, it's a problem with the way you look at life. It's not because life is so much negative or there are so many bad people. It's because of the way you look at life. And so you so much think that everything that you start to do must work perfectly. And so if it doesn't work perfectly, you turn out to beat yourself so much, and you could not understand why you, of all people, should make such a mistake. And so you sometimes are even ashamed to discuss those failures with anybody. Not at all. If you can discuss the victories with people, there should not be anything wrong with discussing the failures as well. So if you think that you are successful and you discuss all the strategies that made you succeed, don't hide the things that you lost from the other people. I don't think that is a good strategy, because then people tend to see you as some super human being, and it's not true. You're not so super anything. You just happen to have done a lot and one worked. And usually that is what it has to do with a lot of things. You do something and one of them turns out to work, and sometimes they tend to wipe out all the errors that you made. It's not because you're so much a genius or you are so much wise and that's why you succeeded at it. No, usually it could be the 10th attempt, but you are trying to hide the 9 from the people who don't know the struggles that you went through. And so you're trying to come out as perfect as something to a lot of people, and it's really not true. So there's nothing like failing anything, because a lot of people who are doing anything with their lives, who are building businesses, who are building projects, who are succeeding at anything, they try to do a lot and succeed with a certain percentage. That's why you think that they're succeeding, but it's because they're doing a lot. And yes, nobody wants to fail. I don't want to fail at anything. I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose friends. I don't want to lose relationships. I don't want to lose anything. But sometimes they will just come because it's part of life. It's because it's part of living. And so I don't have to live in that regret. I don't have to let the fact that somebody will leave me stop me from employing people, or the fact that some partner will choke me and run away with the business prevent me from getting somebody on board, because that will mean that you will not go anywhere. So the failure, the fear of it should not cripple you. So never be afraid of it. If you are attempting anything again, never be so much concerned about how about if you fails. Yes, work whatever you have to work. Correct all the obvious things that you have to correct, and be ready for anything that comes up. And stay with it. Correct them before they destroy you. See, the trouble is not the problems that come up so much. The trouble is how you're going to deal with the problems that come up. That will make the situation, whether it's a failing situation or whether it's a winning situation. It's not so much what you did and how perfectly you did it. There will always be some residuals that come that you have got to stay to correct it. And so when you start and the systems start to react, that's not the time to back out and give up. That's the time to pull out your tools and stay and solve them. And after all, you're not perfect, so don't look for a perfect situation anyway. So you just have to do what you have to do to stay with the situation and solve some. So don't have that thinking. A lot of people have perfect thinking based on their background. They have perfect understanding, perfect thinking. They don't want problem at all. That is not the reality of life. The reality of life is that victory comes to those who are trying a lot. And so they are become better. They are getting closer to the goal. They are fighting. They are hitting. And they, it's not so much that they are perfect or they are accurate. No. After all, they were not accurate when they started. They may be accurate after they have made a lot of errors. You know, the guy who's trying to learn how to kick to take the penalties in football. He was not born with being accurate. He took a lot. He practiced. He made a lot of mistakes, before he hit. And so now you are celebrating him. He's a superstar, but you don't know how many errors that he made before he became the superstar. And so he did not dwell on the fact that he made errors. He really focused on the fact that he wanted to perfect his profession, and he wanted to win. And the failing and the pain is part of the winning, especially the training. And so don't leave waiting for the perfect condition before you strike. It may never work, And so you can try something bit by bit, letter by letter, but never let the fear of you gaining what you set out to do prevent you from starting out to do something with your life. So the fear is the problem, not the failure. The fear. And fear is an evidence of lack of some bit of understanding, some bit of knowledge. The more you know, the more the fear goes down. The more you know the more you can project what could happen, the less the fear has impact on you. So look at that. Look at the fear. Manage it. If there is so much fear, it's a proof that there is much ignorance. There is not much light. There is not much knowledge. Okay, that's why the fear is dominating. Because why should the fear of the pain overcome the joy of the gain? In as much as you don't want to lose and it will be painful, how about the joy of winning? Why don't let that also occupy your mind? Because that is also a possibility. And which one is a good possibility? And if you don't give up, you can take that one, no matter what happens in between. Alright, so don't be afraid of failing. Especially if you don't have anything to do with your life. Why are you afraid of starting the business? Because after all, you are down in the first place. You are down. You don't have anything to do. Why are you afraid to taking that job? Why are you afraid? Just take it. Even if they don't pay you much, take it. You will learn from there. So don't take the feedback and go and get another job or start another business. So don't let the pain of failing cripple you. If that marriage didn't work, go and get another woman. Hopefully you have learned your lessons and that will work. So don't let the fear of failure cripple you. Who doesn't have faith? Every woman has something that they failed at. They may not be that sincere to tell you, but every woman has something that did not work. So you should not just make your case so special and let the failing stage of your life. Some people fail exam and they write again. If you want to go to the college and you have to write the exam 10 times to get the pass, go ahead and write. So far as you are alive, what is the problem? They fail you the first one. They fail you the second one. No, go ahead. Continue to study and write till you get it. That's it. I don't think you should worry so much. So far as you can keep registering and writing, somewhere along the line, it will work. It's better than giving up at all and saying that I will not do it again. It's dangerous. Unless you are changing a strategy. But no matter what hindrances come in the form of failure, never let that thing win. Never. You go after it again. And every time you go after it, you become better. Because every failure sends you a better signal. And now you're wiser than before. And so you are getting close to the victory. So why should you leave it? Why should you? So the failure really is not the problem. It's the fear of your circle of influence, of the disgrace that comes with the failing. That is your worry. And that I said that the people who so much have your interest don't even care whether you fail. They are interested in the fact that you're doing something with your life. The people who care about you. The people who are ready to support you with their resources and their time, their money, really want you to succeed. And I think that is the part that you should focus on. Not those who want you to fail. And usually the fear is coming from your attention on those who want you to fail. Because the people who are so much concerned about you being successful are not worried. You may say that you have even caused them pain, and for them it will not be pain. Because your pain is a pain, and your victory is the victory. But the ones who don't care, They are the ones telling you how much you fail. And it doesn't matter. They should not matter to you at all. So be afraid of not starting something. Be afraid of overthinking, overanalyzing the issue. Be afraid so much of trying to write all the document and keeping it down for the next 20 years. Every day quoting it, becoming an expert in trying to build a business idea, buying it, do all this, whatever they call the analysis, the market research. Don't be stuck with that. Apply. The best market research is the one that you're doing, the feedback you're getting on the field. It's not the one that you gave to the consultant to come and tell you. Especially if it's not a major business. If it's a small business, a lot of the statistics that they're giving you back when you hit the ground is not true. They deviate 90% or 90 degrees. They are here, you are here. They don't meet at all 180 degrees. They are here, you are here. And so never be worried about the failures so much. Never even fear of them. Don't be afraid of them. Especially when you are just an unskilled entrepreneur, project manager. That is the learning stage for you. When they build a program and they try to run it, they expect to have errors. Those who code, those who build anything, website, program, whatever, when they run it, they expect to get results, which will prove the errors. They expect to get errors, and then they continue to attack the errors. And the more they attack the errors and solve them, the better the program starts to run. So same with life, same with whatever you're doing. If you roll it, the feedback, you are solving the bugs, you are solving the errors. And the more you are correcting the errors, the more closer you are to having a good system that will produce a better results more than the failings that you're having. So never worry about that. The thing that you have to worry about is you being crippled with the overthinking, the fear of not starting. It's not the fear of the failure, you not starting, because there's nothing is going to happen until you start. So start something with your life. Start whatever ambition, whatever dream that you have. Don't say, oh, how about I lose the money? A lot of people have lost the money and they kept going. Some of them even went bankrupt 10 times and they kept moving. So you can do very little when you start to just overthink and overstretch yourself so much. Then you will not do much with your life. So whatever that you have to do with your life, don't let the fear let you stay at one stage. If you fear so much of anything, you will never do much. And your life is, last year we were maybe 19, today you are 20. Life is going, time is going. So the more you let the fear is time, and fear is creativity and opportunities. So it's not the failure. The failure is not the problem. Every system has failures in them. Every system doesn't work 100%. There's no system in this world that works 100%. So what makes you think that yours, that you're starting to build, will work 100%? So expect some bit of errors, and is the problem that the strength you have is your readiness to attack and correct the errors that come. And so with anything that you are doing with your life, expect the problems that will come and be resolute to solve them. And if you trust in your intelligence so much, that's why you get to worry when you meet the challenges, because you think that the fact that you drew a system and you did all the analysis should produce right results. No, the system is proving when it's in activity. It's not when it's drawn on the table. No, it's when it is put to work, then you know the strength of it. And when it's put to work, there will be things that will not work. So don't be afraid of the things that will not work. Be afraid of you not starting and overthinking and overanalyzing things. And sometimes you can meet people who want to start business and they have done all the scenarios, but they don't want to lose a penny. You don't want to lose a penny, don't start. You will lose some. You don't want to lose friends, don't start. You will lose some. You don't want any pain, then don't start. The pains will come and they are part of the process. So when you see the success of the other person, when you see the success of any person, ask them about the pains that came up, about the failures that they have to solve, because they're part of it. You may only be looking at the victories, but on the banner of victory, there are a lot of failures. There are a lot of pains, unexplainable mistakes that they have to put up with. So don't over raise yourself in terms of your intelligence. They don't make anybody succeed in this life. Those who are succeeding are those who are just applying what they know, and they continue to stay with the process, and they continue to upgrade themselves, and before you see it, they have a system, or they have a business, or they have a project running. And it's because even if they were afraid, they kept going. So the thing is that you can only overcome the so-called failure when you start to go. When you don't start to go, forget it. It's like people who are afraid of traveling in the airplane, by air. They are afraid, even though they are not in the plane, they are afraid. Usually when they get on the plane, they even forget. Why? When the plane is in the air for one hour, you forget, because you are there. So the problem is that you are stuck from taking the first step, and that, for me, that's the challenge. But when you take the first step, you will go. You will go. By all means, you go. When you start, you say you want to start a business, just start the first product, start the first sale. You will go. You will go, because when you start to regenerate the energy, and that energy will fight the things that give you the negative thoughts of you failing. And so even sometimes the failure will cross you, and because your energy is in excess, you not even pay attention to that. So the problem is not the fear of the failure. The problem is that you are overthinking the situation and you are not moving. So whatever that you have on your heart, start to move. And once you start to move, you see that you will deal with the so-called fear that you have. You will deal with the so-called failures that will come up, and you see that you will get the results that you're looking for. So don't worry about the failure. Don't worry about it. It's rather worry about you not starting. And don't worry about the circle of the people who will ridicule you, because the thing is that your failure, not everybody will hear it. It's only the people who know you who will hear it. When I meet you and you're failed at something, unless you tell me, I don't know it. So don't overblow the extent to which your failures go, because not everybody hear it. And sometimes when people even hear it, they don't even care. You are the one trying to let those failures eat you, because people also have their own challenges. So if you fail at something, you are the one going around telling everybody. People don't even know aware, and a lot of people don't even know. So keep trying to another one. Try another one and forget about what people think. And people don't even keep things in their head. That's why you get to have headlines all the time. The last time it was this politician who stole money. The next time is this accident. And politicians, do you know why they don't care? Because they know that when the story comes, after 2 days, another one will come. So if the politicians were so much worried about their failures, they will not be there. And so today is somebody who has stolen money. Tomorrow there will be another accident that the airwaves will pick. The next day to be another story. So there's always something coming up. So what makes you think that your failure will stay forever? It's not going to stay forever in people's head, because things are coming up all the time. So don't worry about that. But you enjoy the victory if you don't give up. If you don't give up, you will enjoy the victory. And for me, you should rather focus on the victories that will come, the successes that will come, the winnings that you will get, the jobs that you will create, the revenues that you will create, the destinies that will change. That should occupy you and satisfy you and make you push to starting your dream, to starting your project, to starting your business, to getting better with your life than the failing. The failing will never, the fear of the failure or the failing will never get you start anything. If you focus on that, it's the victories that will push you to start something. And I think that if the failing is 10%, the victory should go for 1,000%, because that's what drives the energy. If you look at the negative, they will dissipate your energy. They will make you miserable, and they will make you regret everything that you have ever been, and you become depressed and things like that. And I don't think that's where you want to spend your energy. You want to push your energy into that which gives you strength. So no matter the task at hand, you look at the victories that will come along. And that will give you the energy. So a lot of people just get stuck with life because they so much don't think about the winnings that will come when they start something. What should occupy your mind is, if this business works out, this is the kind of office that we are going to have. This is the change that we can bring to the country. These are the number of employees that we are going to have. These are the products that we are going to have everywhere in the world. Those are the things that you are talking about. You know, those are the things that have captured your mind. Those are the things. If the failures come, yes, deal with them. And if it doesn't work, you go to another one. You know, and that's how it works. That's how life is. And that's how, you know, the boxers, you think that the boxers are looking at being knocked down. They're looking at holding that thing that they hold, the bet. You know, the footballers, you think that they are going to say, I will be scored 10. No, they are looking at scoring them. That's why they keep playing the ball, and that's why you see them energetic, because they think that you have some skill that to score. And so when you are going into the thing, you also believe in the skill that you have to make you succeed. And that will limit the failure that you think you have. The fear of the failure that you think you have. And so if you undervalue or underestimate the kind of skill that you bring on board, then the failure will take over. You know, if you know driving and you sit in the car, because you have driven so much, you have moved the car so much, you are not afraid to hit the road. But when you started driving, you saw the fear that you had. You did not even want to go through the runabout. You did not want to even meet the traffic. You did not want to go through anything because you were not skilled. When you didn't stop and you kept driving, now you are in traffic and you don't even care. You are on phone or you are chatting with friends and you are the same person. What took out that fear was what? Was the fact that you kept at it. You kept developing. And so if you keep at it, the failure will go. The failure will go because you're becoming better. And yet if you don't start, you will never become better. If you don't start, you will never become better. So the fear of failure that people have is actually not realistic. It's delusional. It's not realistic. It's something that is put there for people not to start anything. It's like the risk associated with entrepreneurship. You know, they will overhype the risk, said that people don't try to start anything at all. Yes, there is risk, but it's overhyped. I think the risk in you not starting is more than the risk in the failure. You know, so whatever you want to do, look at the fact that you can overestimate the negatives. And usually it's a reflection of the way you see life, and there is a reflection of the way you see yourself. If you see yourself ill-equipped, you make the enemy so big. And if you see yourself equipped, you will go and you'll be ready for any question. And so don't let the society, don't let your circle of influence, don't let your friends put fear in you, and don't also exaggerate so much. Don't exaggerate them, because they come, and they come in rare, you know, they come, and that's not the problem. The problem is that you are committed to your dream. You are committed to your goal. You are committed to you getting to the destination. You are committed to you getting results, and that is what is important. You know, you are committed to you getting results, and that's what is important. It's not really the fear. So don't let the fear take the best of you without you trying to do anything with your life at all. Some people have never tried anything with their life. They only stay with the defined part because they're full of fear. And part of it is coming from their training, how they were trained. So don't let failure stop you from trying anything. Try anything and keep trying, and that's why you succeed in this life. Nothing comes without you taking the risk. So if you don't want to take the risk, you will not enjoy. And when you see other people enjoying the fruit of their labor, don't be jealous because you are afraid to take the risk. And as a man, I think that a man must be able to take risk. A man should be bold. A man should be courageous to take risk. Take risk for your life. Take risk for the family. Lead. Take risk. The woman can analyze everything and tell you all the dangers, but the man must take the lead. Or the woman can tell you all the things that will not work, no problem, but you, as a man, must take the risk. Knowing all the cautions that they have given you, you still have to take a decision. And so don't be immobilized because of the fact that they have told you all the things that will not work. They can tell you all the things that will not work, and you should just correct them and take the lead. Start it, and you never know where it will lead you to, you know. And so my name is Kwabena. I have talked about fear of failure, and my point is that never be afraid of failure or never be afraid of failing, the problem is not you failing. The problem is the fear. And the fear usually comes from the people, not even the losses, because it's your money. If you lose it, it's your money that you have lost. The challenge is you. If there is any problem, they are not the ones going to deal with the problem, it's you. Yet, sometimes the fear is coming from how you think people will think of you as you being nothing. And you are not nothing. If you're the one doing something, you're not nothing. If there is nothing at all, it's the one who is not doing anything, trying to criticize the one who is doing something. You know, so you should not worry so much about the one who is standing somewhere doing nothing and telling you why what you're doing is what you're doing, because they are crippled by the fear. You know, and you should not let that extend to you. Failure is not the problem. The problem is the fear, and the fear is a reflection of the package that you think you have, the knowledge that you have, the skill that you have, the competence that you have, the courage that you have. They will be able to handle the fear that comes along with you starting anything or doing anything at all. So it's the fear which is the challenge, which is the problem, not the failing itself. So the society that you have created for yourself, the friends and everything, if they hype the fear, change them. Go to the ones that will help you to move ahead. And people who are doing something, always encourage people who are doing something. People who are not doing anything, always discourage people who want to do something. Always. So look at those around you. If they are discouraging you all the time, look at what they are doing. It means you are surrounded by people who are doing nothing in their lives. You're very comfortable with the little that they have. Always the one who encourages you is the one who's trying to do something. Always. And who has done something. And so change the society that you have created for yourself if they are hyping the fear. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for today. And never lose hope. Never lose sight of your dreams. If you set any ambition, go for it. Never the fear. Never let the fear cripple you. Never. Every one of us have that tendency to overthink, to overanalyze, to worry. It's human. Nobody has mastered it. So never think that everybody has mastered anything. Every one of us has something that they're dealing with. And so the magic is in the doing. The magic is in you starting. Don't let the fear keep you. And never worry about what people think. Because those who really think genuinely about you, they don't care your failures, your mistakes. People who really love you, who are in for you, genuinely, they are not worried about you failing at all. If anything at all, when you fail, it's a pain to them. So they are not the one going around to tell everybody about all the things that you fail and that it didn't work. If you see anybody do that, they are in the enemy. Or they are the enemy, they are not the friends. They are not the people who are interested in succeeding. So never worry about that side. Worry about you not starting, not focusing on your dream, and letting the thinking and the thoughts and the ridicules of others stopping you from pursuing your destiny and pursuing your dream. If your dream is to become anything, own a business, go for a PhD, go for masters, become a president, become a politician, start a school, whatever, become a farmer, whatever that you want to start, don't overthink. And if you started and it didn't work, don't let that one eat you. Go and try another one. You are a better person than before. You are better starting something and failing than not starting anything at all. So go back and apply again. Go back and fight again. And you'll be shocked. And you'll shock your life. You'll shock even yourself. The kind of things that you can do just because you want to try, you want to stay with it and try it again. Okay, so never let the ignorant stop you. The unexposed stop you from you pursuing your goal. You know, the only person who should be able to stop you from pursuing your goal should not be another person. It should be you. It's you, not be another person. So go back and fight again, and develop your mind, develop yourself. Go for better team, go for better training, and go and give it another shot again. And when you meet problems, don't run away. Don't cry. Don't run away to your mother. Stay at it. Don't cry to your friend or your wife. Go and fight again. And if you keep fighting, you will win. And you should be able. And when you succeed, give me a call. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And never lose sight. And never give up pursuing your dream. And don't let any fear stop you from pursuing your dream. Thank you.